Okay, so in this section we're going to be looking at investigating relationships in data. So you're given some information, some data in this table. And what is the relationship that we're looking at? We're looking at relating number of books and shelf space. So if I have one book on the shelf, how much space does it take up? 3 centimeters of space. Okay, this is in centimeters. If I have 2 books on the shelf, how much space does it take up? 6 centimeters. Can anyone describe this relationship just by looking at the table? Okay, so what's going to go on the x-axis? We're going to put number of books. So we're going to choose a scale. We need to plot the first point, and given the information from the table, we're told that one book takes up 3 centimeters of shelf space. So what's the coordinate of my first point? What's the coordinate? 1. Good. So we're going to go to 1 and then up to 3, which is around here. This is 1 and this is 3. So that's the first point. Second point, 2, 6. So this is the second point on the graph. Okay, continue until you have how many points? 5 points. Good. Okay, so when we're looking at the graph, we notice that the points are increasing and it forms a straight line. Okay, so we're going to talk about other properties of this graph. Think of the language. First, differences. In math, differences mean that you're trying to find the difference when you subtract, right? So we're trying to find the first differences. So the differences in our y values. When we graphed this, we had x and y. So I want to know the difference between 6 and 3. Okay? 6 take away 3. 6 take away 3. Okay, so the difference between every time we add a book to the shelf, it increases by what? 3 centimeters. This is how it's increasing. It's a positive value. Okay, we'll find all the differences. So the next one is going to be 9 take away 6. 9 take away 6. 3. Good. Next one. 12 take away 9. We're going from the bottom to the top because we're trying to find the difference between these values, what it's increasing by. And then finally, 15 take away 12 is 3. Okay. The first column, which is our x values, increase by 1. Perfect. Okay, it's going up by 1. Excellent. And that's the x value. Good. The y value increases by 3. Excellent. First differences are exactly the same, and it was 3 every time. Okay, the first differences are the same. In this case, it was always 3, a positive 3, which tells us that it's increasing. Okay, so looking at the graph is increasing, and it's also increasing by 3 every time. And we know it's increasing because it's going up and to the right. It's rising to the right. Okay, the graph is increasing at a constant rate. And that goes with our first differences. Because the first differences are all the same, it remains constant. The graph is constantly going to go up by the same amount. Okay, and then we can conclude that all the points are on a straight line. Right? This graph makes a straight line because it's always going up by the same amount. Straight line. Good. The thing that we just discussed here describes a relationship. Remember, we were looking at a relationship that is linear. And what you just came up with describes what the word linear means. All of these things tell you that it's going to be linear, which basically just means that it's a straight line when you graph it.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.